Hey there guys, how's it going? And I hope you are all doing well. Just a little reminder that this is my second extinction video of today. So if you haven't seen the other one, go check it out on my channel. I'll try and leave an annotation also on the screen. In this video, we're going to be talking about one of the Titans and how you tame it, all the information that we gleaned from the 24-hour charity live stream that Studio Wildcard have been doing on November 3rd. And if you're watching this video on November 3rd, you might be able to go over there and they still might be live, revealing more information, raising money for charity, and just having a load of fun. Before we get into how to tame the Titan and all that kind of information, I just want to remind you all to turn on notifications. I'm presuming that if you're watching this video, you want to know all the things you can possibly know about Extinction and discover all of its secrets as soon as you can, and I'll be trying to do that for you. So make sure you turn notifications on. If you do that right now, then you won't forget in the future. So as I just mentioned, this gameplay was taken from the 24-hour charity live stream that Studio Wildcard have been running, and it was a chance for Jen, who's one of the community managers, to interview Chris Willoughby, who is a lead programmer on Ark Survival Evolved. So as you can imagine, I was listening super carefully to try and pick up every little bit of information that I could find out, and I'm going to provide that for you guys here. But before we get into what he actually said, let's just quickly go over what we already knew about the Titans. So Titans in Extinction are going to be mini bosses. You need to either tame or kill all 4 of the different Titans to actually fight the boss in Extinction. Now the 4 Titans are desert, forest, ice and sky. Now you can see the desert, forest and ice biomes when you spawn in. Sky biome? I'm not sure that's a thing. We didn't see it on the video that I made earlier today. So is there going to be something literally up in the sky in the map, somewhere you have to go? Is this going to be a flyer or something like that? We'll have to wait and see. But either way, that's one thing that we already knew. So the first real major reveal from this interview was that all of the Titan bosses, or mini bosses I guess you could call them, are going to be in the wild. You're not going to go to a special arena. So that really makes me question how people are going to do these. This is going to completely change the meta of doing quote unquote bosses. But then again, I guess you could think of it a little bit like a Titanosaur. A Titanosaur is almost like a mini boss. You don't fight it, but it is larger than anything else out there. You tame it and then you can really dominate in PvP scenarios once you've got it. Another thing that got me thinking about this is, does this mean that you're going to be able to use any kind of dino to fight this? I'd presume so, from the fact that it's in the open world, which automatically makes me think flyers are probably going to be quite a strong thing to use, especially ones that you can actually shoot your weapons while riding them, such as the Griffin, or even the Tech Tappy, obviously, where you can fly around and avoid being hit. Anything that's quick and that you can shoot off of sounds like a good thing in an arena where technically I guess you could run away completely from it. You're not kind of stuck in a small arena like you would be with a boss. So let me know of a comment down below, knowing this information, if you just had to grab one creature that you could fight this with, what would it be? Would it be a Rex? Would it be a flyer? I don't know. Let me know. Let's just presume for a fact that it wouldn't die and that you could actually shoot it. What would you use to best maneuver around this thing? So something that might not be of huge significance that I noticed in the stream is that this was actually spawned on Greyfist Mountain, which was in the biome called Snow East. So obviously there is snow north, south and east. I'm not sure if there's snow west actually, can't remember that, but it's just something to know if you spawn in and you want to go straight to the arena. This is actually in the Snow East area. Now thinking of this automatically makes me think that perhaps the actual center area of the map, the city, is going to be a good place to have your base, because potentially it might be in the middle of all the different bosses. I guess that depends whether you want to focus one, well, I keep calling it a boss, but I guess it's a mini boss. Maybe you want to focus on just getting one type of mini boss, so you build your base over there. Maybe these maps are going to be too big for one tribe to lock down, and you'll have rival tribes on this huge map, each of them taming these mini bosses when they can to take out the other. It actually does open up the idea to some more epic and I guess some more large scale PvP that doesn't always happen on Ark. So this is obviously the Ice Titan, and they did say that every different Titan you'll have to use a different strategy, but I'm presuming this fact in particular will be the same throughout. If you actually look at this thing, you can see it's got its corrupted nodes on it. Mainly I can see on its belly. I think there's one on the top, and there's definitely two on the back of its feet. Now, Chris actually said in the interview that if you want to tame this thing, you have to destroy the corruption on it, the corrupt elements that are glowing purple. You cannot tame it if you actually kill it. It's not anything like that. So you have to get rid of the purple on it by shooting those areas or attacking those areas, and then you'll be able to tame it, as long as you don't kill it in the process, of course. Now this again offers up some interesting gameplay possibilities, because with a lot of bosses like this, the first thing people tend to go to is big dinos like Rexes, or who knows, Brontos, just anything big and tanky that might be able to compete with this thing. However, knowing that, it makes me think that people will probably be using a lot more agile tames. Now I'm not sure what loot you get from killing this, because he did say if you're looking for loot you might want to just kill it instead of taming it. So maybe you'll get element, although I doubt it because it's a mini boss technically, but maybe this thing will actually just drop good loot every single time that you kill it. The next most super interesting fact about it is that he said how effective you are at killing the corruption or destroying the corruption on it without damaging on it will actually count, will count towards how effective the tame of it is. So basically, the more damage you do to the Titan while getting rid of the corrupted element, the worse it will be. So in an ideal scenario, you want to do as minimum damage to the actual Titan as possible and destroy the corruption. That's if you want to tame it, obviously. Now, as you can see here, it came with a platform saddle already on it, and Chris actually confirmed in the interview that once you tame it, it will come with this platform saddle. I believe there was a mention that each different type of Titan is going to have a slightly different kind of saddle, or at least you might build on it slightly differently depending on the Titan's strengths or weaknesses. So they mentioned that this Titan is the most agile one. As you'll be able to see in the video, it has this big leap to it, which is kind of cool. It also has like an ice blast that you see it do, which looks like it freezes stuff. I don't think I've actually got the footage here because this video doesn't cover the whole half an hour of the interview, but he actually froze a Titanosaur with the ice blast. So serious damage to this thing, a few different attacks, and it can do the big leap. Now, because they mentioned that that was its kind of unique ability, you presume that the other ones might not have that leap, but maybe they'll be stronger, maybe they'll be faster, maybe they'll have more health. Who knows exactly what it will be, but they will all be slightly different. Something that Chris actually wanted to mention was that the pilot on this thing is vulnerable. Now, obviously, when you have platform saddles, a lot of people build foundations or structures on them to encase the rider, so the rider of it can't get shot off. In this case, they've specifically made it different. The rider is actually below the platform saddle in his own little capsule, or his or her capsule, which means they are vulnerable to being shot off. So that is something you want to consider, especially if you're going raiding or in a small group, or for some reason you manage to get one of these on your own. If you get killed, you could be in trouble. I guess you could build a bed on the top of it, but that's just definitely something to remember. You could be vulnerable while piloting this thing, so have a plan B for if you get killed out of it. So you've got this big badass Titan and you're thinking, how long does this last? Can I use it off server? Well, they actually answered both of these, but said that both of these questions, or even the answers to these questions, are something that is subject to change based on how well it balances in the PvP. So it's definitely going to be a timed tame, and they said that currently at the minute it's a 5-day tame, which is pretty fair, sounds decent, but as I'm sure most of you know, the Titanosaur is meant to be a quote-unquote timed tame, and people have found ways to keep those for longer than usual by actually feeding them veggie cakes, getting them damaged, force feeding them veggie cakes. Will there be an exploit or quote-unquote exploit for this as well? Who knows, but they're meant to last 5 days. Now, can you upload them and take them off server was the one that was a very surprising answer, and the answer is yes. However, at the moment, although I guess this might change at any time, he said that they're planning to let you have them off server for an hour. So yes, you can take this to an off-server raid, but you've got to time it perfectly. Can you just turn up with this thing and smash their whole base? Or do you take it towards the end when they're super weak and they just need that little bit more effort to take them down? I can imagine some epic scenarios where this thing just comes in at the end of a raid, a really long, frustrating raid, and just smashes the other people. Also, you can imagine quite exciting gameplay where your tribe is on one server trying to tame the Titan to bring it to an off-server raid while the off-server raid's happening. A lot of possibilities here for some really cool and interesting gameplay. The only thing about that was kind of questionable and that I didn't quite understand the answer to, even if they did. I don't think they did mention this, but they did say you can only have one Titan on the map at a time. So if you've got one tamed, you can't have another one tamed. But does that mean no one can download one off of another server? Does that work differently? I would suspect that it means you can't download one if someone on the server you're trying to download it to has one tamed. But again, I don't have 100% certainty on that. We'll have to wait and see. So that pretty much sums up everything that I managed to figure out, or that we found out even together through watching that interview with the lead programmer, Chris Willoughby. The only other thing of note that they really mentioned, I thought you guys might be interested in knowing, is that corrupted dinos are all aggressive. I think we did know that, but one thing they mentioned that I think we might have forgot about is that corrupted dinos will be able to damage your base. Of course, like if gigas are not just aggressive, but aggressive all the time, and even titanosaurs are corrupted, are they going to go around stomping your beach, stomping your metal base? Could be kind of crazy if you think about it, so you might want to be careful when you actually end up putting that base. Either way, if you've got this far in and you haven't left a comment yet, I'm going to give you an opportunity right now. Let me know which of the 4 Titans you would want to tame first. We've got Desert, Forest, Ice, and Sky. We've seen the Ice and it does look pretty cool, but I love the idea of the Sky Titan. A flying boss perhaps? Sounds pretty cool, and I can imagine it doing absolutely huge damage. Of course, like I said at the beginning of the video, make sure you have notifications on to find out even more stuff about Extinction. As soon as it comes out, I'll try and bring you the news as quickly as I can and just inform you guys with everything I think that you'll want to know. There's going to be some more of my videos coming up at the end of this one, so check those out if you'd like to check out some more footage, and I'll see you all next time.